Nancy Grace Augusta Wake was a rebel, a spy, and a highly decorated World War II resistance fighter. Wake earned the nickname the White Mouse from the Nazi higher-ups, and a 5 million franc bounty was placed on her head. She defied the Nazis, outran all her enemies, and lived to the ripe old age of 98 to tell her tale. Wake was born in Wellington, New Zealand on August 30, 1912. Her family moved to Sydney, Australia, where she attended school. At only 16 years old, she ran away from home and found work as a nurse. In 1932, a financial windfall and strong wanderlust for adventure enabled her to leave Australia for a new life in Europe. Wake settled in Paris, working as a news reporter for the Hearst Group of newspapers. As the 1930s progressed, the rise of German fascism formed the basis of many of Wake's opinions. In 1935, she traveled to Berlin and Vienna, where she witnessed horrific violence and anti-Semitism. She quickly vowed to oppose Nazism by any means. In November 1939, she would find love and marry Henri Fiocca, a wealthy industrialist. 6 months after their wedding, the country of Germany embarked on its dark visions of conquest by invading France. After France's surrender, Wake and Fiocca would risk their lives by joining the fledgling resistance. With Wake's growing involvement in the resistance, she and her husband assisted the escape of Allied service members and Jewish refugees from France into neutral Spain. Fearful of being captured, Wake fled Marseille, and after a brief period of imprisonment, she made her escape across the Pyrenees. In June 1943, she reached England, where she began working in the Special Operations Executive, SOE. Formed in 1940, the SOE was an underground spy network that waged a secret war in enemy-held territories throughout Asia and Europe. Its agents demonstrated incredible courage and resourcefulness by utilizing the guerrilla warfare tactics of hit and run. By working with resistance forces, they boosted the morale of occupied territories. After a short training period, Wake returned to France in April 1944 to help build and train the resistance before D-Day. Working in the Auvergne region, Wake organized parachute drops of military weapons and equipment. After D-Day, Wake was involved in combat with elements of various German troops sent to destroy the Maquis. Upon liberation, Wake learned that her husband, Henri, had been killed by the Gestapo in August 1943. In September of 1944, she left the resistance and went to work in the SOE headquarters in Paris. After the war, Wake received medals and commendations from the United States, Britain, and France. Her restless, wanderlust spirit and post-traumatic stress prevented her from adapting to life in post-war Europe. In January of 1949, at only 37 years old, she returned to Australia. Wake returned to England 8 years later and married John Forward, an RAF officer. For her courageous endeavors, she received the George Medal, the 1939 45 Star, the France and Germany Star, the Defense Medal, the British War Medal, the French Officer of the Legion of Honor, the French Croix de Guerre, with a star and 2 palms.
To read or listen to the full story plus 20 more harrowing women in combat accounts, check out Women in War by David Usick. Book, audiobook, and ebook available now on Amazon and Barnes and Nobles.